plays within the team, how Kane plays?
When I joined Tottenham, he was already top level. I really enjoy to watch him. He's just unbelievable. You know, I can't say more than this because I'm just surprised sometimes what he's doing is really unbelievable player.
What's it like having a player in the side like that who you almost think every time he gets a chance he's going to score?
Yeah, this is just unbelievable feeling, you know. It's, like these players have the team is just lucky, you know. He make the team strong, you know, of course, because he get chance, he scored a lot of goals. This is for Tottenham is very important.
And for you, you've now played 100 games for Tottenham. You've scored 19 goals, and you're pretty close to getting that record for an Asian player in the Premier League, and go above Park Ji-sung. If you were to score at Old Trafford, you'd get that. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, of course, this record is special for me because Ji-sung Park is still he's my hero, he's my idol, and. Yeah, I watched him when I was a kid. When he played for the Manchester United. Still, yeah, I try to catch him, of course, and I hope as soon as possible I can get the record.
Now, tell us about your goal celebrations. We've all seen your handshakes with Dele Alli. I saw somewhere the other day. Somebody said you have a different handshake for every player in the team. Is that right?
Yeah, I think nearly everyone is have a handshake. I think this is very important. You know, I want to be his friend, you know, not like job or business, you know. I want to be friends. I want to have a special moment, you know.
You've got one up your sleeve for that 20th goal.
Yeah, I hope so. When I score a lot of goals, I can show a lot of things. But I just have to score first.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll see it at Old Trafford. Good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Heung-min Son with John Southall. That is important, though, isn't it, Ali? And Spurs do look like a team of friends rather than a load of men going about their jobs.
Listen, I've said for years, if you've got a squad of boys that are willing to work hard, enjoy each other's company, are comfortable with each other, and they want to be with each other, that certainly helps. Listen, chap, clearly it won't guarantee you success. That goes without saying. But it certainly adds to the chances of success, I always felt.
There was a piece in the Evening Standard this week, the local newspaper in London, that said that Spurs are the most tactically versatile team in the Premier League under Pochettino. It's hard to disagree with that comment.
No, absolutely. And it will be tested. I'm really looking forward, as I said, to see how they shape up today. But I wouldn't disagree with that statement, and I think it's down to a lot of the versatility of the individual players that they have.
Like Son, like Eriksen, like Dele Alli.
Absolutely. They're comfortable in various positions. I mean, remember we always used to speak about the great Brazilian sides. You know, they could play any position. You know, I'm not going to say that Tottenham are playing like a great Brazilian side, but there's a degree of players being comfortable in the variation of positions, and I wouldn't disagree with that comment.
Yeah, and remember as well, Vertonghen as the marauding left wing back away to Real Madrid, and okay, you know, he's played lots of football at left back, but left wing back in the way that he played there. And actually, when I went into the media conference after that match in the Bernabeu, you know, I asked him about the fact that he pulled quite a few surprises with his formation there, and you could tell he was as pleased as punch that this lineup that he played that night had surprised people and had had produced a result there as well.
And he had every right to be, because you know, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure that Spurs were capable of a performance like that at a venue like that, and they did. They surprised me, and I think, you know, good on him. He's every right to be fairly chuffed with himself.
I thought you were going to say he was pleased as punch with the question, and just give yourself a nice pat on the back for your question there.
You know, I wouldn't do that.
No. Now, away from this game, after the England under-20s won the World Cup in June, today their under-17s can match that feat. They're taking on Spain in Kolkata. You can watch it live on BBC Two from 3:20. And Ian Dennis, you spent a lot of time covering the younger England sides, and they're on the verge of more success at an age group level.
Well, it's been an incredible year. You think the under-17s were the runners-up in the Euros this year. The under-20s obviously won the World Cup with Paul Simpson. They had success in the Toulon tournament. The under-19s won the Euros, and now is out in Poland with the under-21s, where they reached the semi-finals with Adi Boothroyd. It has been terrific. Obviously, Steve
Steve Cooper is the coach. He joined from the Liverpool Academy in 2014. What I think it is a testament to, Mark, is the work at St George's Park. You might remember in 2014 they launched the England DNA. Dan Ashworth was crucial with a number of appointments. Gareth Southgate was heavily involved, the England manager. And also somebody like Matt Crocker, who's the head of player and coach development, I think has been an integral part to help build the good work at St George's Park. Obviously Ryan Brewster is somebody who you'll look out for with his 2 hat-tricks. But with Manchester City playing today, Phil Foden, who was an unused substitute when they played Celtic a year ago in the Champions League group stages. So even a year ago he was on the radar of Pep Guardiola. I would say he's something to look out for, an attacking midfielder with a great left foot. And hopefully England will be able to go one better against Spain, who beat them in the under-17 Euros earlier in the year.
So BBC 2 320 if you want to watch that. Of course you can watch that and have the BBC Sport website on in the background, or the BBC Sport app, and still listen to us and look at all the scores and all the tables and all the stats coming in whilst watching that game. Paul Simpson, who was the World Cup winning under-20s manager back in June, will join us at half-time. Paul Thurston says, this is the most impressive set of results I've seen from our young England teams. Perhaps it will all come to nothing, but we should remember it's the first crop of players to have come out of St George's Park. Maybe it's working. Now the early kick-off in the Scottish Premiership is Hearts against Rangers. Hearts welcoming a Rangers side without a manager after sacking Pedro Caixinha this week. Roddy Forsyth is at this game for us. Had a very interesting week, haven't they, Rangers?
Yes, indeed, and we should mention this is Rangers' first ever visit to Murrayfield, the home of Scottish rugby, where just a few minutes ago the SRU gave us a presentation suggesting that Murrayfield should be a major part of Scottish football in future, including cup finals. But as for Rangers, Pedro Caixinha has gone as manager, although the Hearts programme still has him in place. Graham Murty, for the second time this season, takes over as interim manager, and his first action is to bring back as captain Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller, who was banished by Caixinha after the 2-0 defeat by Celtic and was out of the squad completely. Other people who have been connected with the job, and inevitably there has been speculation. Mr McCoist is one of them. You can ask him yourself what he feels about that. But Alex McLeish and Derek McInnes. Alex McLeish saying the Rangers board know where to find him. Derek McInnes saying he's the manager of Aberdeen. That's what he's concentrating on. But he is the man who is on most people's lips for this particular vacancy.
Roddy, thank you very much. Obviously former Rangers striker Alan McCoist is next to me here at Old Trafford. Do they just need, I'm not going to ask you for a name, but do you think they need someone, Ali, who will just calm everything down a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think the supporters, generally speaking, the vast majority of them, need and require a bit of stability about the club, Chavez, which there clearly isn't and hasn't been for a long time now. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they did go back and went to perhaps a Walter Smith or indeed a Alex McLeish, somebody with a proven track record that the fans can relate to and respect, even if it's just shorter term to the end of the season. I'm not sure, but certainly the supporters are crying out for a bit of stability.
Just someone who will concern Rangers themselves with only Rangers. No, this may be very easy for an English person to say who hasn't experienced the Goldfish Bowl at Glasgow, but not worry at the moment about what Celtic are doing because of where Rangers have come from in recent years.
Spot on, absolutely spot on. There's too many people, in my opinion, Chavez, have forgotten where Rangers have come from, and they expect them to be back challenging Celtic far unrealistically for me, far too soon. Rangers are still coming back. I mean, the club went into administration and liquidation. We're down in the bottom divisions, are coming back, and just because somebody comes in and spent a few quid, we are not going to be all of a sudden challenging Celtic, who I have to say, Chavez, I was up at Pittodrie for the Aberdeen game in midweek on Wednesday, and they were excellent. They were absolutely excellent. Tierney, Rogic, Dembele up front. So Rangers shouldn't be looking at there at this moment in time. Rangers need to get a bit of stability, and longer term they obviously have to catch Celtic.
A couple of other lines very quickly for you as the teams come out here at Old Trafford. Wales look on 50 points to 6 against Papua New Guinea in their opening game of the Rugby League World Cup. We'll have more on that at half-time. And the Australian Star Horse Winds has made it 22 wins on the trot when taking the prestigious Cox Plate at Moon Valley in Melbourne for the third successive year. Caroline Wozniacki's into the final of the year-ending WTA Tour finals in Singapore. She'll face either Venus Williams or Caroline Garcia. If you were a player now, Alan McCoist, as these two teams come out and Jose Mourinho comes out of the tunnel now, we're still waiting to see where Mauricio Pochettino is, who would you prefer to play for?
Oh, what a question.
Pochettino or Mourinho?
Do you know someone, I hate sitting on the fence, but I love them both, I really do. I think if Mourinho likes you and you perform for him, I think he'd be a fantastic coach to play for. But I have to say, in the last couple of seasons, Pochettino has really, really impressed me. And again, I think that we spoke about earlier, I think the fact that we look at the Tottenham side and they're full of players that enjoy playing with each other, I think a lot of that's down to the manager as well.
He has a sort of, even though he's still a young manager, he has that father figure reputation that Sir Alex Ferguson had, yes?
Absolutely. And I find that a little bit strange because, as you say, he is relatively, well, a lot younger, well, certainly not Sir Alex Ferguson, but a lot of the managers in the league. But he has got a real healthy respect from his players and indeed from other managers and coaches.
Lucas says, no out-and-out striker for Spurs, and yet we're playing 3 centre-halves at home. Josh, I wonder if Mourinho is going to go for a single or double-decker bus this time. It's our first of 3 live commentaries here on 5 Live Sport this afternoon. Bournemouth, Chelsea later on. West Brom against Manchester City from 3 o'clock. And here at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United against Spurs with Alan McCoist and the father figure of 5 Live, John Murray.
Thanks, Mark. We've just had a real squall, haven't we? Rain sweeping across Old Trafford. It's becoming increasingly windy as the day goes on. It's quite blustery, actually, if you look at the flags on top of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. They are rattling away up there on their poles. And down below, the Manchester United players in the red shirts, white shorts and black socks just breaking away. And Tottenham in their first choice kit as well, the white shirts, the dark blue shorts and the white socks. The referee's John Moss for this one. He's just gathering in the centre circle. And just to say as well, we will have a minute's silence before the match today because this is the Manchester United home match that is closest to Remembrance Sunday. So the players are just preparing to gather around the centre circle and we'll have the announcement. I think I've got time to run through the teams before we do that. Manchester United, who have today Bailly, Herrera and Rashford all fit. Looks as though they're going to play with 3 central defenders, United. So De Gea in goal, Bailly, Smalling and Jones are those 3 central defenders. Valencia and Young in the wide positions. Herrera and Matic in the middle. Mkhitaryan, Rashford and Lukaku. And as for Tottenham, in the absence of Harry Kane, it looks as though this is how they're going, with Lloris in goal, 3 central defenders, Alderweireld, Dyer and Vertonghen, Aurier and Davis as the wing-backs, Harry Winks in the middle. He's really grown in stature, hasn't he, over the course of the last few weeks. England international, and now in the middle of the Tottenham midfield for a game like this at Old Trafford with Sissoko, Eriksson, Ali and Son Heung-min. This match today that...
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
Radio to play it. In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping him now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. Talk Sport 2.
Oh, that's what ball, and he's bowled him. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Masters Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hand, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it, bowl it, pass it, putt it, pot it, or catch it.
Catch it.
You'll find it right here on Talk Sport 2. The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it 2?
Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentary to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport.
Talk Sport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it. In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping him now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. Talk Sport 2.
Oh, that's what ball, and he's bowled him. He's dragged it back onto the stump.
Hard tackling live Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Masters Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it, bowl it, pass it, putt it, pot it, or catch it. Catch it! You'll find it right here on TalkSport 2. The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it too?
TalkSport 2, because sport never stops. We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport. TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it.
In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. TalkSport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping it now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. TalkSport 2.
Oh, that's what ball, and he's ball him. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Masters Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it, bowl it, pass it, putt it, pot it, or catch it.
Catch it! You'll find it right here on TalkSport 2.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it too?
TalkSport 2, because sport never stops. We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport. TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it.
In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. TalkSport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping it now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hit you for 6. TalkSport 2.
Oh, that's what ball, and he's ball him. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfect.
Radio, we're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Masters Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it, bowl it, pass it, putt it, pot it, or catch it.
Catch it! You'll find it right here on TalkSport 2.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it too?
TalkSport 2, because we're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentary to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport. TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it.
In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. TalkSport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping it now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. TalkSport 2.
Against Valencia, tidying up behind. Injured himself on international duty with the Ivory Coast in Mali at the start of the month. Did Eric Bailly. So starting in the Premier League for the first time since the back end of last month. Ali Davis. Valencia. Hooks in hard on Herrera, whose scream you might have heard.
Yeah, on the effects mic, loud and clear.
Davis. Sissoko, Aurier wide, Son through the middle. Sissoko's hammered it, but didn't catch it clean.
Yeah, I think he wanted some lift off on that, and he didn't quite get it in the end, all the way along the ground, and it was never going to trouble De Gea. Scored very early on against West Ham in the week when Pochettino's side seemed to be sailing. And so they were until they hit a quarter of an hour of choppy water in the second half. Good win by Sissoko. Eriksson. Ali threw a boot at it. Smalling threw a boot through it. Alderweireld. De Gea was aware of his near post. Yeah, when you see a long range like that attempted, there's always somebody who gets upset, and in this instance it was Heung-min Son, who's central and unhappy that Alderweireld tried his luck. And he's the one, Ali, with the job of playing off the South Korean.
Important week again for him selectorially, Pochettino, not least in regard to Dele Alli, who becomes available again for the Champions League for the home game against Real Madrid after a three-game European ban. Really is an extraordinary, glamorous sequence of fixtures for Spurs at the moment. Glamorous and, of course, trying. Alderweireld, Son, Sissoko, Aurier. Sissoko, twitched behind by Smalling.
Yeah, but Tottenham looked more assured. Tottenham looked more comfortable in possession. And they're pushing Manchester United back now. Tottenham seem to be taking a measure of control on things.
Christian Eriksen wandering across in front of the Stretford end. Eriksen with outswing, Smalling with a lusty header away. Mkhitaryan caught up by Son, whose work rate is utterly phenomenal.
That's tremendous work. I mean, a small detail in the overall scheme of things. He's hurt himself in the process, but that's extremely good.
Thought he had an excellent game against Liverpool. Scored one, of course, contributed to Kane's heroics, hit the crossbar as well. There's no real reason why he shouldn't be as attractive a focal point as Harry Kane, albeit that few finish with the regular precision that the Englishman does right now. Can't help but miss him. Forward by Herrera. Valencia checked, aware of the flag. No question, I think, that Manchester United were improved by Marcus Rashford's appearance at half-time at Huddersfield last week. Might sound like damning with faint praise, but they did eventually go up a gear. He scored the goal, which was the thinnest of silver linings on a pretty dark cloud. Smalling Matic's clearance came to Eriksson, who couldn't prompt Dele Alli.
Yeah, I would think that's the next step Jose Mourinho would like to see now. Whatever about the way Manchester United are knocking it about at the back, I think they have to start transferring it a bit more consistently from midfield to that attack and getting Lukaku and Rashford more involved.
Chancellor's first quarter of the game. Over the top by Young, and Lukaku's offside.
But that's on. That's on. He just has to approach it with a little more care, Lukaku, because Tottenham are at times defending with quite a high line. So there is room to make that run.
Uncharacteristically skewed clearance from Hugo Lloris. 3 of whose 5 Premier League clean sheets have been away from Wembley. He tries one here. Dele Alli fouled by a wound-up Herrera, who's been giving and taking a fair bit in the early part of the game. In terms of conditions, it is a Saturday lunchtime that just screams Manchester. Swirling grey drizzle. Vertonghen got it back from Dele Alli. Ripped in by Vertonghen. He might get another crack at this. Eriksson.
Dramatic from Vertonghen after the little check by Valencia.
Herrera won it back and then gave it back. Vertonghen. Winks. Skipping away from Matic. Vertonghen wins a throw. He's still making his point to the referee.
Yeah, he is. Vertonghen's having a word with John Moss, as you'd expect, but he's not interested.
Flung along by Dyer. Well met again by Young. Shade awkward this for Jones, who scraped it out from in front of Son. Moved on by Valencia. Mkhitaryan taken off it by Winks.
I think for a moment Phil Jones was regretting letting that just run in behind him. Well, there's intent in that chant from the United support.
I suppose what we would say is that it has been from both sides up to now respectful, each hugely wary of the potential of the other.
Indeed.
Dyer, Ali, Dyer. Extra man for Spurs now. It is Eric Dyer. Son. And Davis against Valencia. Son. Davis. Son. Davis. De Gea comes to claim and then drops it. And it's Sissoko who fluffed his shot.
Yeah, well, is it Jones that just kind of got in De Gea's way momentarily? But in the end, Sissoko made a complete mess of it. And it should have been held. Yeah, there's a little coming together, and De Gea wasn't happy that Jones got that close to him. But Jones tried to pull out, couldn't. And, yeah, a nervy moment for Manchester United.
In current form, David De Gea would not drop that ball unprompted. Having spoken about the improvement brought about in the United side by Marcus Rashford at Huddersfield last week, A lot of their problems did stem from the disappearance midway through the first half of Phil Jones. And for some people's money, is currently the best English defender in the Premier League.
A head injury.
Clash of heads here.
Yeah.
Ashley Young is feeling it. The referee is obliged to stop it.
Yeah, Aurier and he are having a good old duel back and forth down the flank, but this is just a arm into the face. Again, it wasn't flung at him, it wasn't malicious.
Nor, I think, is Young being overly dramatic about it. This is Dyer getting forward and staying forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's quite apt at that, Peter, because, you know, he's got the experience of coming from midfield, and it's something that is very easy for him in his game.
Well, there was no dispute about the stopping of the game, but there is now a bit of a debate about the restarting thereof. John Moss has to do this diplomatically and fairly, and it looks as though they are going to have a contested drop ball. You don't see many of those.
And Young has gone through Sissoko, and Tottenham get the free kick, and Young's not happy with Sissoko over it.
Dele Alli's joined the argument, as he is wont to do.
Yes, and he should stay away from it. It wasn't his in the first place, and there's no need for Dele Alli to get involved. Spiky.
Two County's boys made good. Ashley Young, born and brought up in Stevenage. Dele Alli, not so very far away in Milton Keynes. Find themselves either side of a halfway line in Manchester, getting somewhat spiky with each other.
Yes. It certainly added to the atmosphere.
Maybe it's what the game needed.
Yeah, might help.
Bit of oomph. John Moss has calmed it down for now. There's a bit of vitriol in that smile, and a bit more in that one.
They may see each other again.
Hope so. Not backward in coming forward, Dele Alli.
No, and thankfully as well, after his episode at Huddersfield, he's staying on his feet more too, Peter, because he got into a little rut where he was throwing himself to the ground a bit too much again.
Eriksson. Aurier. Sissoko. Aurier. Eriksson. Broken up by Mkhitaryan. Moved on by Lukaku. 3-on-3 here. Lukaku through Vertonghen. Across comes Alderweireld.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the right choice by Mkhitaryan. I think he could have fed Rashford as opposed to Lukaku on the follow-up.
Eriksson with an unfeasibly calm back pass, which Lloris didn't really want. Herrera fouled by Sissoko, Manchester United's free kick.
Yeah, and he's trying to claim he got the ball, but he certainly went through Herrera first. But it's that kind of game, you know. I mean, the atmosphere is intense now, and you can not commit yourself to a challenge. That's the feel.
At last, that intensity is stoked. Old Trafford's Saturday morning alarm has sounded now. Valencia. Herrera caught on it by Son. Bailly reliant on De Gea. Vertonghen away from Rashford. Sissoko wide for Aurier.
Yeah, Tottenham are making all the running, Peter, but I'm not sure they've paid their congestion charge, because any time they get around the Manchester United box, then it's the red numbers that are winning the duel.
Mkhitaryan. Davis winks. Uncontested space. Aurier. Ali. Aurier's not stopped here. Young went to ground. Aurier felled him, actually. The flag's gone up, and the referee has acknowledged as much.
Yeah, I mean, again, very, very good discipline from Ashley Young. But he knows kind of every role now because he's played every position. And his versatility is certainly on show again today.
Pochettino's team, terrific away from home. They haven't dropped away points since doing so on the 5th of May at West Ham. Since then, 25 goals scored in 6 straight away Premier League wins. Those are going to be harder to come by here. Young, Rashford. Alderweireld, the other part of that big Belgian brick wall. If one of them doesn't get you, the other will. Alderweireld and Vertonghen with Dyer between them today.
Yeah, and you can feel the desire from every corner of Old Trafford for Manchester United to be more on the front foot.
Young. Clear by Dyer. Welcomed in by Smalling. Bailly. Valencia. Bailly. Lukaku leaning on Davis.
Yeah, an element of frustration in that from Lukaku because of the way the game is going for him.
Well, the month is going for him. Scored late in the 4-0 win here against Crystal Palace. Since when? 90 minutes at Anfield, 90 at Benfica, 90 at Huddersfield. 24 or 5 more at Swansea without a goal. And indeed the first 35 here. Vertonghen. He's stuck with him at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, well, Mkhitaryan didn't seem to fancy it, you know, half hard to track him back with Vertonghen, and he just basically left it to the Ivorian.
Ben Davis to take the Tottenham corner. Alderweireld is up. Dyer is up. Davis delivers. Dele Alli into the crowd. And taken away by Matic, who's gone early here for Mkhitaryan. Lent upon by Sissoko. Clean challenge, says the referee. Ali's looking forward again. Son keeps company with him. Dele Alli, neither one thing nor the other, and De Gea gathers.
No, I mean, Son made the run to the far post, but it looked as if Ali was just trying to thread one inside the post. Again, he's just going down too easily, and I'm not surprised. John Moss kept his whistle quiet, but Ali was weak.
Valencia, Mkhitaryan, Rashford could be in here. Lloris is out here.
Yeah, well, that's trademark Lloris. That's what he likes to do. Very quick off his line. Given away.
To Mkhitaryan. And now Ashley Young rampaging. Blocked by Alderweireld, forward again by Herrera. Rashford, and skewed behind by Alderweireld for a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, and the home crowd that would like some sustained pressure at this end.
A slow burner bubbling up. Last 8 minutes of a first half, which is glowing without yet burning. In by Rashford. Lloris didn't get there. And Herrera misclubbed.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be told. Both his hands went on his face as soon as he released it.
He's one of those, of course. He's one of nothing. He's out on his own as one who doesn't really give too much credence to what others say. He has a plan and sticks with it. There has been public pressure, there always will be, for Manchester United after what occurred at Anfield a couple of weeks back, for Manchester United to make it happen for themselves here today. The only opinion that really matters to Jose Mourinho is his opinion. And he has a CV to back that up.
Yeah, I mean, usually he puts trophies in the cabinet. Put 2 in it last season.
Davis hit the Welshman last. Time break for Antonio Valencia. Dele Alli's still down.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing this kind of commitment now, which the United fans absolutely love. That full-blooded stuff.
Nicked forward by Bay, out by Eriksson, met by Matic. Mkhitaryan with a calming touch. Jones for Smalling. Aurier intercepts, Sissoko's on his way here. Smalling gets across to outstanding effect. And from Matic, there was a coming together after the ball had gone. Sissoko and Smalling there, possibly back to that. Lloris. Vertonghen gets it away. Ali's trying to turn. Bailly has fouled him. I'll tell you what, John Moss needs eyes everywhere at the moment.
Well, we're not exactly seeing elegance, but we are seeing real determination. Every game is different, Peter, and even though we're not enjoying a flurry of chances at either end, it's engaging.
Dele Alli. Harry Winks. Son. Sissoko. Son. Aurier. Deflection. Corner.
Yeah. I think it was Valencia who just kind of was a little deeper than everyone else. As Tottenham just put this together, he's forced a little deeper with the run, and that keeps Aurier onside and allows him into a promising position for a moment. But once he turned back inside, his chances were seriously reduced.
Still awaiting his first Spurs goal. In by Davis. And Dyer! Had 2 cracks at it.
Well, that's a couple of times now that Tottenham have got heads to it. On the last occasion, it was Dele Alli, but a Manchester United player got in the way, and on the follow-up from his initial header, there's no power behind it. And just a gentle stretch for De Gea. Manchester City would be quite pleased if it remained like this.
I was just thinking the same.
A tactical stalemate. I mean, at the moment, 2 very good teams at Old Trafford are vying to prevent a one-horse race.
Quite so. Each to the detriment of the other. John Moss is trying to keep a smile on the face of this game, but it is increasingly attritional. Herrera and Son hacking away at each other.
Yeah, he was just a little high, Herrera, on the initial challenge.
His big moment of the season so far, John Moss, was the dismissal of Sadio Mane in the Manchester City-Liverpool game.
I think he's got to be the unhappier manager, because he's not getting the front 2 involved, not enough. And I'm sure he's chewing the 4th official's ear off over something else, but I think Pochettino has got to be more satisfied with what he's seen from his team.
I've spent time with Stuart Atwell. I think Jose will find him very pleasant company. Trip on Dele Alli by Phil Jones, who pleads not guilty. All rightly so.
Yeah, he did. He pulled out of. But again, it's one of those situations where the player, Ali in this case, knows the ball is gone, and he hits the deck.
Jones thinks the ref's been duped there. Ericsson's free kick. Aurier's cross. Jones away from Dele Alli. Important touch that from Winks, so that Davis can hoik it forward again. Aurier. Young. Oh, he's done very, very well.
I think he's been terrific, Ashley Young. There's an aggression about him in that position now that you wouldn't have seen at first when he ventured into that role.
That's so interesting. They do have Blind, they do have Darmian, they do even have Luke Shaw. They've got specialists in that position. And Ashley Young's getting a run in the side there. Trying to pump Rashford. No Alderweireld. Smalling couldn't claim it. Bailly does. Valencia. Foul by Son at the back of Herrera. As we head towards just 1 minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, I mean, should Manchester United capitalise on this, Peter, it would be smash and grab material.
In by Rashford, out by Davis. Lifted up high again by Mkhitaryan. Davis for touch. Rashford's throw, poked out by Sissoko. Matic thought he was being embraced there.
Yeah, both Vertonghen's arms were around him.
Here's Valencia. Matic. Well, it's been rough and tough in the Manchester rain. A thing of beauty this football match has not been. But in its own quirky way, it has been quite engaging. And goodness knows what there is still to come. At half-time, plenty to ponder for Pochettino and Mourinho. At Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0.
شكرا لصديقي عصام الشوالي. إذن لا أهداف عنوان الشوط الأول ولا أهداف كما قال عصام ولا إمتاع، ولكن الحسم بانتظار الشوط الثاني الذي سيخرج فيه المدربان.
Halliday was the relevant official in John Moss's ear. Mkhitaryan will take the free kick. Mkhitaryan's a very, very deep one. Too deep even for Romelu Lukaku beyond the back post. He's never won a game against Tottenham. 4 draws and 4 defeats with the previous clubs. He'd have scored once against them. But notwithstanding his recent relative famine, let it not be forgotten that he has scored 5 goals in 5 home games for Manchester United. Matic. Mkhitaryan. Rashford couldn't keep it in. Very difficult to gauge what his level of satisfaction would be with this outcome. He's not one to settle for what he's got. He's far from being a stalemate manager, Mauricio Pochettino.
Well, you mentioned it in the first half, Peter, about the fact that he is confident in the collective, which he referred to in his pre-match press conference, and that has been supported by what he's seen without Harry Kane. Yeah, Herrera just took one as Ali tried to shake him off.
Ericsson. Back by Bailly. It is quite a lock that Spurs have to pick here. Manchester United's robust defence, particularly at Old Trafford, was well entrenched before the summer, never mind their succession of clean sheets here. They haven't actually conceded a goal from open play in the Premier League at Old Trafford this calendar year. New Year's Eve, Middlesbrough were the last to score from open play here in the Premier League, more than 20 and a half playing hours ago.
That's outstanding. That's incredible. And for so much kind of poor defensive shows we've seen this season and last, that is standout. And yet, Manchester United fans won't really buy into that as much. They want it to be more exciting at the other end.
Mkhitaryan. Valencia, Rashford. Out strolls Davis. Caught up by Valencia. United's throw. He wants to take it in a hurry. Herrera. Matic. Bailly. Davis away. Smalling.
Say, Peter, you know, all the while, and particularly it came out after the result at Anfield, there's a kind of an undercurrent of dissatisfaction amongst many Manchester United fans over the style, which was always going to be the dilemma.
It's Young! And there was Lloris. Rashford was only half a yard away from making it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good ball by Ashley Young, who's having an extremely good game. But we saw one similar in the first half when it was whizzed across. Lloris was able to gather quite comfortably, unthreatened.
He has provided their most impressive dimension, Ashley Young, today, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah, but I think, you know, we know the way Jose Mourinho operates. He's thinking clean sheet, and all you need is that one good moment at the other end, and it can be enough to secure all three.
Rashford. Spin kept it in for a while, but it eventually, all of the ball crossed all of the line.
Yeah, but he's getting the free kick. As he tried to turn, there was contact made on him, which almost caused him to stay down.
Jones. Matic. Smashed up high by Alderweireld. Came down for Ali, who protected it from Jones. Looks for support from Sissoko. Eriksson. Vertonghen. And Davis. And Eriksson. Finds neither Ali nor the back post.
And had it found Ali, the flag may have been raised. I mean, it's good work by Bailly to make sure that Vertonghen's not going to be able to get a shot away, but once Eriksson picked it up, he's just looking to see if he can pick Ali out with a little run and overhit it. I mean, we've seen that combination work in the past.
Spurs last one at Old Trafford on New Year's Day 2014. Goals from Emmanuel Adebayor and Christian Eriksen that day.
He hesitated for some reason there, Lukaku, and then put the sprint on again. It was too late.
Noise now is Tottenham noise. 5,000 of them running through their choral repertoire. Matic, Lukaku, Young. Matic. Davis headed away only as far as Mkhitaryan, who made a yard, and Lloris built it, and Rashford was denied a chance at close quarters by the alertness of Ben Davis. Here's Young. Alderweireld clear, Matic let it slip. But threaded it through here from Mkhitaryan! And this time Lukaku's ahead of the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was off Lloris's boot or whether it just clipped the post.
Manchester United lifting it now, and their supporters correspondingly lifted by them. Young. Rashford. Lukaku. Block again from Davis. Mkhitaryan. Herrera. Valencia. And Vertonghen got lucky.
Manchester United have given themselves a reminder of what's needed. And Mkhitaryan shows good feet here, maybe got a little bit of luck in the process to actually work his way through and be able to open it up on his right side. There was more room wide of Lloris. It was very clumsy, you know, from Lloris. And how many times do you see strikers reacting, Peter, and not defenders? Davis did extremely well.
Very odd spillage by Hugo Lloris. Looks the most certain of goalkeepers with his handling. I'd just say in mitigation that the rain has worsened since half-time. It really is swirling round. Not a kind day for goalkeepers in terms of handling at all.
Stormy on and off the pitch.
Sissoko shaken off it by Matic. Lifted forward for Rashford. Alderweireld can deal with this.
And right now, Old Trafford is pumped.
United now properly attacking a demanding Stretford end. Ashley Young. Mkhitaryan. Young can't quite get there.
No, but it's a source for Manchester United all of a sudden. Now their left-hand side, Tottenham's right. That seems to be the way in. And he's become much more influential. He's had a lot to say, I'm sure.
Attacking the second half with much greater relish and purpose, Manchester United. Jones, Young. Young got it back cleanly. Rashford for Mkhitaryan. Alderweireld got it back equally cleanly. And went early for Son. Smalling intervened. Jones asked De Gea to clear.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan knew he was offside if he went anywhere near the ball.
Alderweireld, led by Smalling. Matic, Young. Evidence of movement on the Tottenham bench. Interesting offensive movement. Rashford's movement concerns them now, though.
He's been excellent, Dyer. And he feels that he was bumped by Rashford in the process then, and he's screaming at John Moss, but he's not going to be listened to.
Rashford's corner, for which Chris Smalling arrives now. Likewise Eric Bailly. Lukaku there as well, of course. Away from the near post by Son. Rashford will go again. Foul day. It has become a filthy day. He's in red, looking for something to remember it by. By Rashford, it's a poor one. So is Son's clearance, though. Young, Lukaku, Valencia, Lukaku, led by Dyer, there's Bailly. And now Dele Alli going the other way. Sissoko ahead of him, and Winks in support. Where is Harry Winks?
It looks like Pochettino with Dembele is looking for something more robust in midfield, and certainly he's looking for a target up front now.
Yeah, Llorente and Dembele are both ready to come on. Son, who is going to come off with Sissoko.
Well, unless he can find the back of the net before the substitution can be completed.
Alderweireld. Aurier. Winks. Vertonghen. Davis. Well met by Jones. And now those changes. Interesting decision by Pochettino to twist here, and indeed to twist twice. Son Heung-min has been, as ever, game. Boy, this fellow works for his living. But he looks bedraggled now. Starved with the ball certainly since half-time. And, of course, Fernando Llorente offers a different dimension. A genuine big, broad centre-forward. That's him for Spurs to aim the ball. And the other change, as Jim has already hinted, Sissoko giving way to Moussa Dembele, who's been off the Premier League scene for quite a while. Hasn't started in the Premier League since the end of August. Llorente straight into it, doing what he must. Eriksson, Winks, Aurier, Eriksson, Dembele, Eriksson, Winks, Llorente, Winks. Fancy Aurier would have been offside had the ball reached him, it didn't.
Yeah, and Tottenham can just adjust things slightly now because Llorente is there. You mentioned dimension. I mean, size is a big factor now. Get the ball in the box.
Davis does just that. Aurier's header. Away runs Rashford. And he's clear of Alderweireld, and he's threading it through for Lukaku, and Lloris is wide awake.
Yeah, I mean, Vertonghen might have had something to say because he seemed to spot the run from Lukaku early, but I think relieved that Lloris is so efficient in doing that.
United are going to make their first change shortly as well. Jesse Lingard will soon be with us.
Yeah, we were hearing whispers that he might start today, which is unsurprising after his brace in midweek.
Young Rashford. Mkhitaryan winks his challenge. Manchester United's corner. The word is Lingard for Mkhitaryan. But the Armenian has this corner to concern him first. Henrik Mkhitaryan and Llorente at the near post, as the defensive centre forward so often is.
Yeah, might have been easier going at that with his head. Took him a while to make sure he got the leg up to get something on it.
Mkhitaryan again, away by Llorente. Valencia! With venom.
Yeah, I mean, big man Llorente does get a head to it, but he doesn't get enough on it. And we've seen him find the postage stamp from there, Valencia. He's very good at that. That's exactly what he's attempting again. Through Dembele's legs too, and Lloris wouldn't have been getting anywhere near that.
So here is that previously advertised change. Mkhitaryan yielding his place to Jesse Lingard, who, as Jim said, got a couple of goals in the League Cup down at Swansea in the week. Welcome to Manchester. Seen it all, done it all. Going through it again. All set for Halloween. There'll be a few damp bonfires next week as well on Guy Fawkes night, no doubt. Dembele. Davis, Dembele, Winks, Eriksson, Dembele, Ali, Dembele. Smalling bicep to bicep.
Yeah. Well, Smalling had a nibble earlier on in that move, and Dembele thought his fancy footwork here was going to allow him to get away, but Smalling was quickly at him. And there was a little tug initially, which wasn't spotted by the officials in Dembele. That's the kind of beauty of playing three at the back, because one of your centre-backs can step up to a midfielder like that and go and deal with it.
Lukaku. Dembele has brought energy with him, freshness, the freshness of a man who's been in action for a month and more. Llorente. Eriksen. Dele Alli. Space ahead of Aurier. Trying to steal it back in for Eriksen. Young. Alderweireld. Moved forward by Ali. Eriksen somehow has made it stick until Bailly got a toe on it. Cool from De Gea. Long from Valencia, down by Lukaku. Taken back up by Vertonghen. Eriksen. Final quarter of the game. A game that still awaits its moment. Pounced by Herrera, who then felt Dembele through his back. Dembele infuriated at the insinuation he'd committed a foul.
Well, Herrera is prone to the theatrical.
Eriksen. Vertonghen. Picked off by De Gea. Who skids it out here for Rashford. Rashford. Just too heavy for Lukaku. It was the right idea.
Oh, it's unlucky. I mean, it really is. And you know, that's good to see the applause from Lukaku, who Rashford is trying to find. It's a really good attempt, but you know the conditions go against the Belgian.
Down now on Winks. Here's the Herrera Dembele moment.
Yeah.
Dembele only took the ball, and so he would want the world to believe. John Moss with another calming word, and now another Manchester United change. Anthony Martial, as so often in the past, for Marcus Rashford. Generally one or the other, not both. Rashford scored from the bench a week ago at Huddersfield. Martial seeks to do the same now. His throw, Lukaku. High from Dyer. First involvement for Martial. Space for Matic. More space for Young. Running at Aurier. It's Young's cross. Again too high for Lukaku. Valencia. Antonio Valencia. Martial trying acrobatics. Clearance reaches Jones. Matic. Martial.
It was doable for Martial with the bicycle attempt.
Done a whole lot wrong today, Ashley Young. So Pochettino's two changes up to now have been anything but conservative. Away from home at Old Trafford. He's thrown on his centre forward. By Valencia. Lingard. Out by Eriksson, who was bumped by Jesse Lingard after the ball had gone.
Yeah, and it was an avoidable one as well. Lingard didn't need to make any contact. And the likes of that just kind of takes the momentum out of what United are trying to race.
By Lloris, down by Llorente, that's what he's there for. Away by Bay, and then by Jones. Now Young, lovely from Martial. On goes Matic, on goes Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku! Lloris threw out a palm. Valencia. Herrera. Valencia. Matic driving through Dembele. Valencia's gone to ground, free kick's gone against him.
Yeah, I think John Moss is going to book him for going down too easily. He does run into a white shirt, but the referee clearly felt that he didn't need to hit the floor and make it look as if he's trying to get a penalty. Yeah, I mean, it's not. And Bele's up quickly. I'm not sure he's going to get the ball on the other end anyway, and I think that's why he's gone to ground. And Lukaku, I think the wider he took it, the more you favoured Lloris to get something on it. And he did just that. The angle became more acute because Vertonghen teed him up that way.
Eriksson, Dele Alli, Aurier. He keeps it from Ali and keeps it from going behind, but it is a Tottenham throw. Eriksson finding a way now, if they can, to get Llorente into the game. Make the big Spaniard relevant. Davis, Ali. Play from Herrera. Not by Vertonghen, not quite. Davis kept it in. And now Winks scurries beyond halfway. Eriksson. Dembele. Dele Alli. Dembele, Eriksson, his range, Christian Eriksen.
High, yeah. I mean, with Manchester United in this instance so deep, then it kind of affords that opportunity to unleash from range. But it got stuck under his feet initially, and that kind of just took some time away from him, and it was rushed in the end from Eriksen, and he knew it.
Felt for a moment, didn't it? Just like a Christian Eriksen moment.
Who knows, Peter, if we do get one, you know, it might yet be a long ranger.
Forward by Davis, by Smalling. Davis. Winks. Eriksson. Away from Llorente, no fuss. Eriksson. Jones was sturdy. Herrera. Young clear. Alderweireld. Llorente, less than a quarter of an hour away now from a Manchester City win in the game between United and Spurs. Eriksson. Ali, Winks. Eriksson. Dele Alli! Oh, it's wide! a hair's breadth.
Well, when he gets on the ball in that position, it almost becomes instinctive now because of his relationship with the Ali runs. Ali knew straight away where Eriksson was likely to put it. Smalling was taken out of the game, and just a slightly better touch on it, and De Gea is undone too. It's very difficult to stop it when these two are linking up like this together. Inches.
Delicious dink from Christian Eriksen. Truth be told, with De Gea in his face, Dele Alli couldn't have done a whole lot more.
No, it wasn't the easiest one for him. If he got a little more behind it, he probably does squeeze it inside the post.
Buying, bullish win from him. Herrera.
Yeah, maybe a fright that might just stir a bit more for Manchester United in this next spell now.
Yeah, United have dodged a bullet. Here's Aurier. Martial, foul on him by Alderweireld. Referee saw it and waved it on. Valencia. Lingard. Valencia. Lingard. Lukaku against the post. It is a game of tiny margins at both ends.
Yeah, well, just listen to Old Trafford now.
Matic winds one up and flies one high.
Yeah, as Lukaku appeals to him as if to say, why didn't you just play it into my feet? But Lingard just didn't mess about. What centre-forwards love is early delivery. Catches defences, and he got great power behind that, considering he's backtracking a little bit. That's an excellent header. That's as good as it comes. And Lloris wouldn't have saved it had it been a foot to the left.
Well, nobody can look him in the eye and call this a black 0-0 today.
No, because he sorted things out at half-time. He would have been disappointed with what he got, or what he didn't get going forward in the first half, Peter, but there's been much more from Manchester United. But single points against fellow top six contenders won't do.
Won't be enough. Eriksen. Davis. Eriksen. Thanks for Aurier. Oops. Dyer. Llorente. Dyer. Winks. Aurier's offside.
Yeah. I mean, Dyer knows that he played the ball behind Winks, and that didn't help.
Manchester United do late goals. No club has scored more in the last 10 minutes this Premier League season than Jose Mourinho's. Lukaku. Martial. Onside. Scores. Stretford end. There's your late goal. Your late, possibly telling goal. Anthony Martial leaps off the bench and scores for Manchester United.
Absolutely huge moment for Anthony Martial, and he had to take it, and he dealt with the pressure. But when the flick on comes from Lukaku, Dyer gets caught dawdling. He doesn't read it early enough, and as a result, he's on his heels, and he can't react to cut it out and stop it from going to Martial. Look at him, he's jogging, doesn't see it, and Martial is just able to ease past him. That's too soft. But once you're in the position, you got to make sure you find that, and he did. into the ground, admittedly, but it's wide enough of Lloris. And a huge one.
A player who a week ago at Huddersfield was hooked off at half-time by Jose Mourinho in something adjacent to personal shame, has come off Mourinho's bench and may have won him one of the key Premier League games of the year. It is Manchester United whose breath is on the necks of Manchester City now, and Spurs who have it to retrieve. Alderweireld, Aurier, Dele Alli is penalised.
Yes. A wrestling match with Bailly, who's now got cramp, the Ivorian. But that's why the big bucks were paid, Peter. And that's why Jose Mourinho is much happier with the squad assembled this season. But, you know, Dyer, who I think's been excellent in this game, just got caught dawdling. And Martial, can you? Yes, big time.
Eriksen. Spurs well equipped to throw everything at this though. Llorente. Eriksen's not stopped. Smalling's let him have it. Eriksen. Too dainty for Alderweireld. Matic's clearance isn't great. Winks. Vertonghen. Davis. Llorente. Smalling stopped him, but here's Dembele. Eriksen against Matic. Aurier. Ali jumping with Bailly, neither got a touch.
Yeah, well, Ali's unhappy because he felt on this occasion, not quite the wrestling match we saw a moment or so ago, but he claimed that Bailly was just trying to kind of put his arms around him, or certainly above him, and he prevented him from jumping. Not enough in it. He's not going to get any change out of the referee for that.
Old Trafford bouncing. Pochettino bedraggled. It is a horrible day here, and this would be a horrible game to lose. Foul on Young, or at least so he believes. I think just the throw-in has been given. We'll see. Dele Alli's been sent packing by his own manager. He's been in the referee's ear almost constantly through the second half, Dele Alli.
Yeah, well, again, you could hear the shout from Young on the effects mic. This will give us a kind of clearer view. He's making the absolute most of it, Ashley Young.
Well, he has got his free kick.
Well, he's had his problems with simulation as well in the past, hasn't he? I'm not trying to say it wasn't a free kick, incidentally.
Lingard. Herrera.
And right now, Peter, Old Trafford doesn't care about style.
It is all about a 1-0 lead and the retention thereof. Manchester City are at the Hawthorns, kicking off at the top of the hour. Prior to that, though, City 25 points. Manchester United, if they cling on here, 23. Spurs stuck on 20, potentially 8 behind if City win again today. Lukaku. Aurier. Eriksen. Coaxed forward by Smalling. Martial wants to try and keep it in, he can't.
Yeah, as soon as it hits the turf, it's away.
Spurs won't slip out of the top 3. They have a 4-point advantage on both Chelsea and Arsenal. United go to Chelsea next week. The Jose derby.
Yeah, and he's gesturing towards the Manchester United fans to stay this loud.
Aurier away from Martial. Inside the last 3 minutes of the 90. Keep the ball, keep the points. That's all United have to think. A goal for Anthony Martial, you might even call redemptive. His tail was between his legs across the Pennines at Huddersfield a week ago. He's won his Spurs back against Spurs.
Well, that'll do him good with Mourinho particularly as well. That's the way to bounce back. You don't get your head down. You get on with it and impact.
Lukaku. Taken away by Vertonghen. Alderweireld. Young's penned in by Aurier.
Well, that looked casual, but I don't think that was meant from De Gea. For Matic.
Matic got out of the corner. Marcel trying to slip in Herrera. Dembele. Winks. Foul on him. Into the 90th minute.
Tottenham's defence has emptied itself around the United box.
Lifted in by Eriksson. Headed away by Smalling through in front of De Gea. And bashed out by Herrera. And Lingard's got half the field to himself. Eriksson in pursuit. Jesse Lingard heaves it into row P of the Stretford end.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where he's probably mindful of the fact that somebody is trying to get there from behind. And his concentration possibly wasn't at its best. But I mentioned about the Tottenham defence. Everybody had poured forward. They were vulnerable to this. Eriksson, having taken the free kick, is doing his utmost to catch up, but Lingard has wasted it.
Llorente, Ali, into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Dele Alli, scratched out by Smalling, met by Dembele, shifted here for Harry Winks. Aurier, Alderweireld, Aurier, Eriksson, Winks, Dembele, Dele Alli, Vertonghen, in by Vertonghen, out by Jones. Desperate now from Spurs, Winks, Alderweireld. And out again by Phil Jones.
Yeah, he needs to get elevation on Alderweireld if he gets another chance. It's Llorente in there, 6'4", get it on his head.
Alderweireld's throw, away by Young. Skewed by Alderweireld twice. Shows they couldn't have asked for more. Lukaku quickly on with the throw, seeing Lingard scampering forward, but Dembele was wary.
Yeah, Darmian looks as if he's about to come in as soon as there's a lull in proceedings.
Over came Ashley Young, who's the player to be replaced, I think. He's had an excellent game at left back for Manchester United. He really has, Ashley Young. He has run miles and miles. Offensively, he's shown imagination and purpose of touch, and defensively he has stuck manfully to a considerable task.
Terrific. One of the best on the pitch, if not the best.
Darmian's replacement. Hoisted in by Dyer. Smalling got a touch. Bayer was sweeping up behind him. Smalling was fouled.
Well, for Mauricio Pochettino, I think reflections on Harry Kane and what might have been had he been able to lead the line for Tottenham. But credit to Jose Mourinho, because they had problems from the first half when they weren't ambitious, adventurous enough. That was corrected to a degree in the second half. It was much more in terms of attacking play, and they just needed that one chance, which Martial took extremely well.
City United are coming. 3 of the biggest points for Manchester United this season, acquired for them from the bench by Anthony Martial at the expense of fellow chasers Tottenham Hotspur. It's United who move up onto City's shoulder. The final score at damp Old Trafford, undampened of spirit. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Just a big win, Jim, and truthfully, that's all that matters.
Huge, and you have to remember what it's on the back of. It's on the back of a handbrake performance at Manchester United, an attitude problem at Huddersfield, partly fixed with a different team in midweek at Swansea, at least attitude-wise. And Manchester United again had difficulties in the first half with Tottenham. They needed to sort it out, and it was done. I'm sure Jose Mourinho got stuck into some at half-time. Lukaku almost scored, hit the upright with a very good header. But Martial, when given the...
شكرا لزميلي عصام الشوالي. إذا فعلها مورينيو وفعلها اليونايتد وفاز بهدف واحد مقابل لا شيء على ضيفه وغريمه توتنهام هوتسبير، وفاز مورينيو على صديقه بوشيتينيو في الشوط الثاني بفضل لاعب بديل مرة أخرى، ومرة أخرى هدف متأخر لليونايتد. هذه ليست مصادفات، سنتحدث عن ذلك طبعا مع محللينا. ومانشستر يونايتد الآن غنم النقاط الثلاث في أولد ترافورد بعد عودته إليه، وبالتالي أعلن نفسه مبدئيا المنافس المباشر لمانشستر سيتي، وفك الارتباط مع توتنهام. 23 نقطة لليونايتد، 20 نقطة بقيت لتوتنهام هوتسبير، ومانشستر سيتي ب 25 نقطة بانتظار مباراته في الخامسة على أرض ويست بروميتش ألبيون. إذا مانشستر يونايتد حقق المطلوب وفاز في الدقائق الأخيرة، فاز بهدف من لاعب بديل هو مارسيال، فاز بصناعة الهداف لوكاكو، ومورينيو هو الذي ضحك أخيرا في هذه الأمسية. إلى فاصل ثم نواصل.
انتعش مع أبوة ماونتن ديو الجديدة. ماونتن ديو قوي قلبك.
الماتش هيبدأ حالا واتلمينا هنا وقاعدين. بدأ الماتش مع الصفارة زيطة ودوشة شمال ويمين. اللي لابس لبس الفرقة واللي قاعد مش فرقاله، واللي بيرغي وجاي يفصلنا واللي فجأة دخل بعياله. جاية معاه بالعافية وبتسألي نفسك جيتي ليه؟ بتقفقي وتبصي بساعة لسه الماتش بدري عليه. ليك في الكورة ولا مالكش ورغاي؟ شايف السينما لنا رايح جاي.
هدف واحد مقابل لا شيء لمانشستر يونايتد. الهدف جاء في الدقيقة 81، كرة طويلة من الحارس دخية، التصحيح أو التمرير أو الأسيست أو التمرير الحاسمة برأس لوكاكو، والبديل مارسيال يضعها بيسراه عن يسار لوريس الفرنسي أيضا، وهدف الانتصار، هدف يساوي 3 نقاط في أولد ترافورد. يعني الحقيقة أن الهدف سبقه فرصة هدف لفريق توتنهام هوتسبير. ديل ألي جاءته كرة قشرها له إذا جاز التعبير إريكسن، لكن يبدو أنه لم يلعبها بالشكل الصحيح فأطاح بها خارج مرمى، مباشرة عوقب بهدف مارسيال.
وده قيمة الهداف النهارده. غياب هاري كين مؤثر،
نعم،
لأن الهداف عملة نادرة، بيعرف يتكيف أو يتصرف في مثل هذه المواقف. نعم. إريكسن عملها ممتازة جدا. هنا مش محتاج ان ديلي ألي انه يحطها بيمينه بالخارجي، تردد على طول، هدف مباشر، هدف ماركة مورينيو.
نعم.
قيمة الدخية والكور الطويلة، وقيمة لوكاكو في عملية المحطة والتحول السريع بالنسبة لمارسيال، تحرك ممتاز جدا جدا. اختار المنطقة الأصعب على داير في مراقبته، جاي من الخلف، داير من موقع الثبات، هو جاي متحرك بقدرة كبيرة، وحاجة متمرنين عليها، مذاكرين كويس ازاي الكور الطويله، ازاي الراجل لوكاكو يبقى محطه، وازاي تتحول بدماغه على طول اللي جاي من الخلف مارسيال. داير ما قراش اللعبه بسرعه، قدر مارسيال ان هو يستغل الفرصه على طول. لوكاكو الراجل جاي من عمق الملعب، داير ما شافش المراقبه بتاعته، هو اسرع، وضع جسم داير مش مناسب، مارسيال حط جسمه كويس وتصرف ممتاز بالنسبه لمارسيال. وده قيمه التغيير لما يبقى عندك تغيير او اوراق رابحه موجوده على دكه الاحتياطي قادره على تغيير مجرى المباراه ونتيجه المباراه.
نعم.
الراجل المهام الصعبه بالنسبه لليونايتد مارسيال.
لاحظ ان مارسيال ساهم ب6 أهداف كبديل، 4 أهداف و2 اسيست، يعني اقوى بديل يمكن في الدوري الانجليزي الممتاز.
طبعا وده قيمه دكه الاحتياطي الموجوده عند اليونايتد. و43% من اهداف اليونايتد هذا الموسم جت في اخر 10 دقائق، قيمه كبيره للتغييرات وايضا للعامل البدني.
هذا حديث اخر ايضا غير قيمه مارسيال، قضيه الدقائق الاخيره هذه. لكن دكتور طارق، هل نستطيع ان نقول الان على الاقل من خلال هذه المباراه ان توتنهام للمتعه والفرجه ومانشستر يونايتد للواقعيه والفاعليه؟
طبعا بالاخير
او نقول ان فعلا كما قال جوارديولا توتنهام هو هاري كين.
يعني قد
هناك شيء صحيح من كل ذلك،
يعني لان هاري كين يعني اكيد ما حد يختلف عليه انه هو قيمه كبيره جدا، وافتقاد الفريق لمثل هذا اللاعب في هذه المباراه قد يعني نوعا ما يؤثر على الناحيه الهجوميه. لكن في بعض هذه المباريات اذا لم تستغل انصاف الفرص امام فريق
فما بالك بالفرص
افضل، أو يعني الفريق لم يدخل عليه في هذا الموسم الا 4 أهداف، هدفين من ستوك وهدفين في المباراه الماضيه من هدرسفيلد. امام الفرق الاخرى لم يسجل عليه، لذلك يمتاز بقوه دفاعيه وحارس مرمى من افضل الحراس على مستوى العالم، ان لم يكن الافضل من وجهه نظري كدخيه. لكن هو العمل اللي قام في فريق اليونايتد في الشوط الثاني هو استمرار لفلسفه وافكار جوزيه مورينيو، هو التنظيم في وسط الملعب، منع الفريق من الاستحواذ، منع الفريق من بدء الهجمه، منع الفريق من الاختراقات اللي كان يبحث عنها فريق توتنهام، واعتماد على الهجمات المرتده، اعتماد على الكونتر اتاك، على اسلوب الهجمه المرتده. يمكن من الكرات النادره اللي فاز فيها لوكاكو في الكرات المباشره، اغلب الكرات دائما يكون ألدرفيرد أو داير أو فرتونخن قريب منه، ودائما في الكرة الثانية يفوز فيها توتنهام. لكن هذه من الكرات النادرة اللي لوكاكو استطاع أن يكون كمحطة كلاعب تارجت في الكرات الطويلة.
لكن دكتور سامحني، يعني نلاحظ بأن مورينيو أصبح متهم بأن المباريات الكبيرة المنتظر أن تكون ممتعة فيها فرجة، لا أقول يفسدها، ولكن يحولها إلى مباريات تكتيكية، يحولها إلى مباريات مقفلة صعبة من اجل الوصول لاغراضه. يعني عنده الغايه تبرر الوسيله، هو يخرج بالنتيجه التي يريدها في نهايه الامر.
اكيد هو بالاخير
نحن نفقد الفرجه لكن هو يحصل على نتيجه.
اكيد بالاخير هو اللي يكسب 3 نقاط.
نعم.
هو يحقق
هو
هدفه. نعم
هو الصح.
هو لان هو يبحث عن الفوز، من يبحث عن الفرجه يذهب الى مباريات اخرى ممكن يكون هناك في فرجه في جوال في نتائج كبيره، لكن مع مورينيو هو يبحث عن الواقعيه. لذلك انا يسالني البعض يعني من مشجعين اليونايتد، اقول له اذا في مباراه لك في هذا الموسم، مباراه كبيره، لا تخسر وتروح الملعب، لا تقص تذكره وتروح الملعب.
لانه مو مضمون المتعه،
ما راح تستمتع.
والغريب انه نفس النتيجه فاز فيها على توتنهام السنه الماضيه في اولد ترافورد، ايضا هدف مقابل لا شيء في اولد ترافورد السنه الماضيه الى حد ما بطريقه مشابهه.
يعني هذه
وتوتنهام فاز طبعا في
هذه قناعات بالاخير، هذه قد لا تكون هي مدارس مختلفه وقناعات مختلفه،
لا تستطيع ان تنتقدها او تقلل منها.
أكيد
هو رجل
أكيد.
ناجح يحقق الانجازات
ويحقق بطولات عن
هذه مدرسته، كما يقول مثل عربي لكل شيء طريقه يعني.
نعم، ويحقق عن طريقها البطولات التي هي باعتقاد ان هذه الافكار توصل الى تحقيق البطوله.
نعم، والاعتقاد اثبت على مدى السنين انه في محله، يعني ليس اعتقاد من فراغ. وانتبه بان مورينيو احصائياته دائما في الفريق الجديد انه في الموسم الثاني يفوز بالدوري، وهذا موسم ثاني مع اليونايتد، يعني سيظل خطيرا على السيتي، لن يسلم الاوراق بسهوله.
لا طبعا بكل تاكيد اليونايتد منافس، توتنهام، تشيلسي، الاسماء هذه دائما منافسين
موجودين في الصوره. نعم. كابتن محمد، انت اشرت الى نقطه مهمه، 43% من اهداف مانشستر يونايتد هذا الموسم في الدقائق العشر الاخيره، 10 اهداف سجلت في هذا الوقت، هذه ليست مصادفه، هذا ياتي من البدلاء وياتي ايضا من عمل المدرب.
طبعا هو بيعرف يقرا المباراه كويس، ويعرف يستخدم الاوراق اللي موجوده على دكه الاحتياطي التوقيت المناسب بالنسبه له، ودي ميزه الصراحه تحسب لمورينيو.
نعم.
تختلف معاه بقى باسلوبه ازاي يكسب وازاي يبني،
هو حر في النهايه، هذه شخصيته وطريقته واسلوبه
وبيكسب.
نعم.
انما مقارنته للوجه الحالي للمباراه اللي قدمها امام ليفربول هو احسن النهارده.
نعم
احسن.
نعم، لانه على الاقل يعني شاهدنا على الاقل الشوط الثاني عمل هجومي، فرص
في عمل هجومي،
كره على القائم، الهدف الى اخر ذلك.
انما الوجه الباهت اللي ظهر بيه امام ليفربول لا، ما كانش فيه داعي بالنسبه له. النهارده المباراه مكسب كبير، ميزه مهمه بالنسبه له، قرايته للمباراه، تحضيره للاوراق الموجوده على دكه الاحتياط ويستخدمها ازاي، توقيتها.
نعم.
وينم ايضا على لياقه بدنيه كبيره للفريق ككل، ان انت تحرز 43% من اهدافك في اخر 10 دقائق، لا حاجه بدنيه.
اللياقه البدنيه لا تاتي ضمن عمل الجهاز التدريبي
طبعا. نعم. ككل، ودي ميزه بتحسب ليه، وهو زي ما بقول من المدربين اللي مش لازم شرط الفريق يبقى كويس قوي عشان يكسب، الفريق يبقى سيء،
وهذه شخصيات او سمات الكبار
طبعا. سيء او متوسط وبيكسب.
بس للامانه الشوط الثاني لم يكن مملا او سيئا، لا طبعا. الشوط الثاني اعتقد كان في فرص، كان في فرص القائم، كان في هدف ضغط بالضبط، يعني كان في عمل اكثر من الشوط الاول،
وكان في رغبه للفريق ان الفريق عاوز يكسب، في ضغط، في مساحات، في نوعا ما حريه للتنقل للهجوم، للضغط للهجوم، فكل الحاجات دي مميز فيها. فالنسيا النهارده شفناه في الشوط الثاني بيتقدم، يونج بيقدم المسانده والكرات العرضيه للوكاكو، فكل الحاجات دي ما كانتش موجوده ولا في مباراه ليفربول ولا في الشوط الاول بالنسبه لمباراه توتنهام.
اشراك يورنتي بدل سون تقريبا قبل نصف ساعه من النهايه، يعني وقت طويله، هل هذا استتبع تغيير في الشكل التكتيكي لاداء الفريق؟
هو فقط بوجود يورنتي يعتبر محط الكرات الطويله، والقادم من الخلف الكرات الثانيه.
القادم من الخلف يفترض يكون ديل الي
طبعا، وديل الي هو اللي يقوم في هذه الادوار، لكن بوجهه نظري وجود يورنتي في هذه المرحله لا يخدم الفريق، لانه ما شاهد كرات طويله واسلوب مباشر على هذا اللاعب، دائما يلعب
بعكس كره هدف اليونايتد.
نعم، ويورنتي يلعب بعكس فلسفة توتنهام الاستحواذ والكرات القصيرة والاختراقات من عمق الملعب.
نعم.
أما الكرات الطويلة الأسلوب المباشر غير موجودة لدى فريق توتنهام، لذلك كنت أفضل استمرار سون كحل، ودخول في بعض الأحيان يعني بوقت متأخر ديمبلي في وسط الملعب لتقوية وسط الملعب، لكن اخراج سون اعتقد اضعف في الناحيه الهجوميه، واصبح الفريق فقط يعتمد على الكرات الطويله.
نعم، لو نظرنا الى احصائيه هذه المباراه لكي يعني نستقرئ اكثر مسار اللعب ومسار هذه المواجهه بين المدربين مورينيو وبوشيتينيو، نجد ان الاستحواذ على الكره كان 55% لتوتنهام هوتسبير مقابل 45% لمانشستر يونايتد، الفرص على المرمى 11 لليونايتد 13 توتنهام، التسديدات المؤطره على المرمى 3 لليونايتد 4 لتوتنهام، نسبه التسديدات على المرمى من اجمالي تسديدات 27% لليونايتد و31% لتوتنهام، انهاء الفرص 9% بنجاح لليونايتد، هذا يعني الهدف، و0% طبعا لتوتنهام الذي لم يسجل، التمريرات 406 لليونايتد و509 لتوتنهام، والناجحه منها 282 لليونايتد 393 لتوتنهام، وبالتالي نسبه التمريرات الناجحه اعلى عند توتنهام 77% مقابل 69%، الركنيات 6 لليونايتد 3 لهوتسبير، والاخطاء المرتكبه 12 ليونايتد 14 لهوتسبير. ارقام اجمالا فيها شيء من التقارب، فيها افضليه لتوتنهام، لكن الارقام التي تدل على الفاعليه اعلى عند اليونايتد، نسبه انهاء الفرص، الركنيات، الى اخر ذلك.
يعني تحس ان اليونايتد وخاصه في الشوط كان هو الاخطر في حته الاستحواذ بالنسبه لتوتنهام. توتنهام 55%، لانه مقارنه بليفربول المباراه السابقه كان 36%.
نعم.
والفريق احرز 4 اهداف.
نعم.
مباراه ليفربول.
نعم.
مباراه دورتموند خسر الفريق الاستحواذ والفريق كسب المباراه. فده تنوع في الاسلوب او فلسفه من مورينيو، يسيب الاستحواذ، يسيب الكره لتوتنهام ويستغل الهجمات المرتده والمساحات اللي ربما تترك في الخط الخلفي. فكلها افكار بتنم عن الاسلوب المتبع لكلا الاثنين مدربين ازاي يستغل. انما زي ما بقول دور هاري كين مؤثر جدا 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 في الناحيه الهجوميه. لما بتستحوذ 55% ويبقى عندك خلق فرص 13 فرصه ونسبه الانهاء بتاعتك 0%، لا يبقى دور كبير لهاري كين. انا زي ما بقول
يبقى جوارديولا عنده حق
حتى الان هو البوصله.
نعم.
لكل
جوارديولا ولا هاري كين؟
هاري كين. جوارديولا هو بوصله المدربين، هاري كين هو بوصله المهاجمين.
نعم.
بالنسبه لتوتنهام هو عنصر مهم جدا وفعال. ازاي يتحرك، هو البوصله ازاي يتحرك لديلي الي، ازاي يتحرك لإريكسن. فالنهارده الفريق فقد اهم ميزه عنده في خط الهجوم هو عمليه الانهاء. هو مميز جدا، يتحرك كويس، انهاؤه مميز فيه. فكل دي افتقدها توتنهام في هذه المباراه.
اذا نقفل ملف هذه المباراه التي انتهت بفوز مانشستر يونايتد على توتنهام بهدف مقابل لا شيء، وانفراده بالمركز الثاني خلف السيتي مبدئيا بفارق نقطتين مع امكانيه عوده النقاط الخمس اذا فاز السيتي كما هو منتظر على ويست بروميتش البيون. والان نفتح ملف المباراه التاليه التي اختارها الزملاء في اداره الانتاج، وهي مباراه ليفربول مع هادرسفيلد تاون. هذه المباراة هي من المباريات الخامسة، والحقيقة تجمع بين المدربين الألمانيين، يعني دافيد فاغنر مدرب هادرسفيلد وأيضا يورجن كلوب مدرب فريق ليفربول، وهما صديقان. إليكم عن هذه المباراة وهذه الصداقة التقرير التالي.
في ويمبلي ضد توتنهام نهاية الأسبوع الماضي عاش دفاع ليفربول وقتا فظيعا. أداء سيء جعل المدرب يورجن كلوب يدفع لاعبيه إلى أن يشاهدوا تحليل المباراة مرارا وتكرارا ويستخلصوا منه الدرس في الملعب التدريبي. ولكن رغم نية كلوب جعل لاعبيه التعلم من خطئهم من خلال مشاهدة تحليل الفيديو، إلا أنه طلب من لاعبيه تجاهل النقد المتآتي من وسائل الإعلام.
I hope they were smart enough not to read it. I don't read it because it makes no sense. How I should read that somebody says I have no clue about football. It's not right, but on the other hand side it doesn't help, so why I should read it. So, and for the boys it would be good that they would do the same. But on the other hand side, it's not the biggest problem in the world. We made mistakes in that game, and if people then say, yes, you made a mistake, we knew already before. It's only about reaction.
يورجن كلوب سيواجه صديقه مدرب هادرسفيلد ديفيد فاغنر. المدربان صديقين منذ أكثر من عقدين، منذ أن لعبا معا في ألمانيا. الليلة يتواجهان للمرة الأولى ولكن كمدربين.
It is extraordinary, yes it is, because he's my best friend and he is a manager of Liverpool, but I think the real important and extraordinary story is that Huddersfield Town meets Liverpool in the Premier League in a competitive game. It's more than a friendship, maybe it's more a family member rather than a friend. Yeah, that's the truth. He is a manager of Liverpool, I'm the manager of Huddersfield Town, and now we play Premier League on Saturday. Great story.
I would have loved the story if the manager is not my best friend, but with having him as my best friend, I was completely in it, how you can imagine, and so I'm still very proud.
لم يفز فريق كلوب ليفربول على أرضه منذ شهر أغسطس. في الوقت نفسه يحل فريق فاغنر هادرسفيلد خلف ليفربول بفارق نقطة واحدة بعد أن حقق فوزا رائعا أمام مانشستر يونايتد نهاية الأسبوع الماضي. بغض النظر عن النتيجة اليوم، عند الإعلان عن صافرة النهاية في أنفيلد يبقى الثنائي أفضل صديقين.
لو نظرنا مشاهدينا الكرام إلى أكثر المدربين لاعبا في الدوري الإنجليزي الممتاز، بمعنى لاعبا بإشرافهم على الفرق المختلفة لخوض المباريات، نجد أن سير أليكس فيرغسون هو الأول ب 810 مباريات ونسبة فوز 65%، ثم أرسن فينجر ب 799 مباراة، ثم هاري ريدناب ب 641 مباراة، ثم ديفيد مويز ب 499 مباراة، ثم سام ألردايس ب 488 مباراة. لذلك نرحب بالسيد سام ألردايس. بيك سام، مرحبا بك معنا في خدمة اللغة العربية في بي إن سبورتس. ألا تحن، ألا تفتقد التدريب؟ ألا تريد أن تساعد فريق آخر على الهروب؟
أفتقد إلى التدريب، ولكن الضغط الموضوع على المدربين هو عال جدا. أنا قمت أو اطلعت بدور المدرب لمدة 25 سنة. الآن أردت أن أخذ استراحة لأن ذلك شيء مفيد للعائلة. لا ربما سيتصل بي أو يهاتفني شخص ما، ولا ربما سألتحق بناد ما، ولكن في الوقت الراهن أنا أستمتع بأوقاتي وأذهب إلى جميع أصقاع المعمورة.
إذا هذه استراحة المحارب من أجل العودة مرة أخرى إلى المباريات، وبالتالي ممكن أن تعزز الرقم وتصعد في قائمة أكثر المدربين ظهورا في الدوري الإنجليزي الممتاز. سيد الرئيس، يعني بسرعة شاهدت مباراة مانشستر يونايتد مع توتنهام، ما تعليقك بإيجاز على هذه المباراة؟
طريقة نموذجية من السيد مورينيو. التكتيك على أرضية الميدان جعل المباراة مملة جدا، وهذا أصبح شيء مألوف منه، ولكن وضع التكتيك الذي جعله طبعا يحصد 3 نقاط. المباراة لم تكن مرفعة النفس، وحتى جماهير المان يونايتد لم تكن سعيدة، ولكن في نهاية المطاف هم فازوا على نادي توتنهام وحصلوا على 3 نقاط. لا زال أو يريد دائما السيد جوزيه مورينيو أن يقلص اللي هو بينه وبين المان سيتي، ولكن المباراة كانت مملة.
نعم، انت لخصت كل شيء، والحقيقه تتفق في الراي مع محللنا في الاستوديو. الان دعنا ننتقل بعدما شاهدنا هدف مارسيال في مرمى لوريس الى المباراه التاليه. مباراتنا في الخامس ستكون ليفربول مع هدرسفيلد تاون. كيف هو اللاعب ضد صديق؟ يعني يورجن كلوب وديفيد فاغنر صديقان باعتراف الاثنين صداقه قويه جدا بينهما. هل لعبت قبل ذلك مع مدرب صديق؟ كيف يكون الامر عندما تلعب ضد صديقك وكلاكما بحاجه للفوز؟
حصل ذلك مع ستيف بروس، وستيف بروس هو من أعز أصدقائي، وهو مدرب الكثير من النوادي الإنجليزية مثل ما هو الحال بالنسبة لي. كلما نتقابل ومهما كان الفائز طبعا والخاسر طبعا يهنأ الرابح. لا زلت أتذكر هذه اللحظات